Welcome back. Another project. Probably not surprised, right? This time around we're going to do a little variation with the RGB. Last time we had the RGB LED light up red, then green, then blue. However, we can actually make that RGB any color we want by combining the reds and the greens and the blues. We're going to be like a little artist today and come up with little different colors for our RGB LED instead of just R, G, and B. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. We're really going to jump into this today because I've got the wiring all set up from the last time. So if you can't remember, or if you look at the last video or just take a close peek at this, maybe a quick reminder of our RGB LED. We've got that long leg, which is that one right there. I've got it going in the black wire is in the same row, and it's running all the way across into my ground on my Arduino. And then I've got these color-coded wires, the red one going to that wire, and then the green one to that one, and the blue one to that one. They're in the same row. And they're coming across into 11, 10, and 9, so I get a better view of that. Okay, this time around, we're going to absolutely need the pins with the squiggly line next to them. We're going to take advantage of some analog rights to get these different values that are in between, so we can get a bunch of different colors. So instead of the last time it was just on or off to get the different colors, this time we're going to select values in between on and off, so we can tease out some other colors. I'll show you how that's done. It'll make more sense when we code this. Anyway, so there's a basic setup. Basically, it's exactly like the last video, except now we have to use those squiggly lined pins. And let's get the dinosaur out of the way. Let's go ahead and little decision here. Let's declare some variables again like we did last time. And what did we do? We did pin modes, and we did, trying to think ahead, I usually declare it while I'm writing, as I type things in. Let's just go ahead and do what I normally do. So I'm thinking, okay, I gotta tell these pins what they're doing, and then I go, okay, oh, do I put a number here, or do I declare a variable at this point? And let's go ahead, and then I would jump up here and say, all right, let's set typing 11 in there. Let's declare the word red as being 11, so that I don't have to worry about what pin it is. I can just type in red pin. That's usually the way I go about things when I'm coding. So green. Now I haven't declared a variable for green, but I will. We'll jump back up here. And that's going to be 10. And then I know I'm going to be using blue after that, and we'll make that 9. Alright, now if you can think ahead while you're coding and you want to declare ahead of time, that works too. I just sometimes not sure what I want to declare as new variables. Alright, outputs red, green, and blue, 11, 10, and 9. Double check, I get 11, 10, and 9. Yeah. So let's go down to the business end here. We're going to use analog this time around. Last time we used digital right to give us high and low. This time around we want to tease out all the values in between high and low. So we're going to use analog right, still using digital pins. So let's do red. Let's tease out red, and let's just turn red on as an example. So we're going to use this is an 8-bit again, 0 to 256. or 255, excuse me, 255 being the maximum, 0 being the minimum. So let's max out the red and analog right to green. Make that 0. We're going to turn that off right now in our first example. And blue, make that 0. And that'll probably be fine. Don't need to worry about any delays. Oh, eventually we'll put some in probably. Let's go ahead. Let's go to tools first. Everything's set up nicely. We've got the right board. We've got the right COM, the highest number. Let's go ahead and upload that. I'm already plugged in. My lights are already on. You'll need to do that. You'll need to plug in first and then look at the tools. That'll be your actual order. We'll hit that upload button. Wait just a minute. Give the dyno a little squeeze here. Bam, alright. That looks good. And we got red. Now on the camera view it looks kind of like a white red. But my eyeball view it's a really good, I don't know what size word, it's a really good color of red. So you'll be seeing a nice view of red. Alright, let's think about this. I just turned red on. Well, you've seen that before. You're like, that's nothing new, Mr. Brower. But I actually have a lot more control over the colors. As an example, let's go up here and do a delay. Let's call one on, lowercase. Let's that be like 1 second. And then we'll go do another one for off. Let's that be a ½ second. Because we're going to need those on and off. Because we're going to kind of combine what we just did as we run some experiments. We'll add some new code and just kind of keep it the old one. So we want that old one on for a second, and then we're going to do some modifications. So let's go ahead and modify this. Copy and paste it. Now if I wanted to just have green go on, you can probably imagine I send this to 0. I got a little spectrum of possibilities, 0 to 255, and we'll turn green on, and we got to be a little careful here because right as I'm going through this loop, I send out these values to those pins, leave it on for a second, and then I switch and use these values. But if I don't put a delay in here, it'll immediately go back to the top of the loop and then switch them, and I won't be able to see that. So to avoid that problem, we're going to put in, we'll just use on again. You know, it's 1000. Maybe we won't even need an off, but whatever. And that's good enough. So it'll wait while that change is made, and it'll go back to the first change we had. Let's go and upload that. Give our dyno a little squeeze. Whoop, got a little error. Oh, okay, so my bad. I used all lowercase. And let's actually look at the error just for a second, the message. Usually I can just look at the line that it's highlighting and pretty quickly see what's going on, but let's say we're not that quick. We look down here and we see highlighted on was not declared in the scope, so it's telling us it doesn't know what on means. You're like, what's going on? I just declared it up there. Yeah, I did, but I used lowercase o and an n. So let's go back and change that. And I also noticed looking down here that I have a capital. So let's go ahead and switch that, otherwise we'll have another error. And try this again. Hopefully that'll work this time. The green line above my head is done. Okay, so now we're switching from red to green. And let's go ahead and finish this up and do the last color. And you're still saying to yourself, well, this is exactly what we did last time, Mr. Brower. There's nothing new here. Lowercase. So once you get this last color going, Then we will go into the mixed colors and then see what we can come up with. Alright, so now we show the red, green, and the blue. Okay, now we're going to do some mixing. Instead of adding beneath, I suppose we could, decision time, do we modify what we have, or should we just keep adding to the end? Will that confuse us? Let's go ahead and let's do this, just so we're not confused. Let's say when it turns on that it does 2 reds in a row. Whoop. This red one goes on. Let's fix that again. And this red one goes on, and then we know we've started over. And then here's the new stuff we're adding on. How about that? Like a little signal. Like we're ready. On, red, red. Okay, here's the new stuff. So let's do some mixtures here. Let's say we combine red, full red with full green. I'm not even sure what color that'll be, but let's just try that. Max out the red, max out the green. Most of this video is going to be waiting for the computer to upload. It's been pretty fast though. So we got, oh, did I miss it? I'm not seeing my red. Oh, you know what? I'm not seeing a red because it's going red. But nothing's Mr. Brower being, you know, I wish the program would do what I want it to do, not what I tell it to do. It's doing exactly what I tell it to do. And I want it to go red, then off, then red. And then I just told it to go red, off, and then do that for a moment, and then go back on. Let's fix it one more time, because I want to see that red before we add the new. Oh, I put in the wrong spot. Oh well, no worries. Delete that out there, put in here. Actually, I'm oh, Mr. Brower, you are being a little weird today. No worries. Okay, so if I put, let's go back and think about that. What is Mr. Brower thinking today? This will be funny. If I actually put a delay here, Mr. Brower was thinking that I will get the red, and then it'll be turned off, and then I will get the red coming back on again, a double flash of red. But if I have a delay on here and a delay off here, I think I've had, normally declaring my variables is to remove confusion, and this is added confusion to my head, I think. All we've done here is increase the delay time. We've added 1,000 for that delay and a 500 for that delay. So it'll stay red, and it'll stay on red for 1 second, and then a half second, and then it'll say, oh, okay, you want me to be red a little longer, all right. And we'll stay on for another 1 second. So we'll be seeing red for 1, 2.5 seconds, and then it'll flip the other color. So that is getting weird. Let's just go ahead and yank all this stuff out before I go nuts with it. How about that? We'll just yank it all out. I don't know what I was thinking. We're just having fun. That's why I enjoy this Arduino stuff. I can just mess around. So let's go ahead back to our combining red and green, and we're probably already seeing that this boy, now I'm wishing I hadn't deleted that stuff out, because it would be cool to compare, do more experiments, seeing what I had originally. Let's see. Let's do an undo. There's a button here, it undoes what I just did, and it didn't change anything. Let's go ahead and do it again. Alright, I think it would be worthwhile to compare, don't you? I think that would make sense. So have it start with the normal red. Little experiments on the fly, nothing wrong with that. Make that go red, and then go green, and then, yes, I like this idea. If I was really clever, I would have thought of this before I did the video. but again, I think that's okay. So it's going to go red, then it's going to switch to green, and wait, and it's going to switch to blue, then wait, and then finally we'll do our new color so we can compare, and we'll do a 255 red and green, and then while these are going, we get kind of refresh in our mind. What did that look like? What did that look like? What did that look like? Oh, here's the new color. Fabulous. Except, what did Mr. Brower do again? Oh no, Mr. Brower's on a roll here. We're turning it blue, and then we're waiting, and then we're turning it this new color, and then immediately turning it back to the red again. So we'll never actually see this color. We will sort this out. No worries, Mr. Brower. No worries. We can change things pretty fast. All right. Now I think we've got it. Just wait just a moment. Compiling sketch, uploading, and we're done. So the red, green, blue, our strange color. Red, green, blue, and a mixture. Looks like we got yellow out of that. Nice. Let's go ahead and modify it a couple more times, and then I'll show you a little trick. Let's go ahead and let's do them like half each. Half of 120 of 255. Let's go 125. Not exactly half, but half of each. What are we going to get? So we're like a painter here. We're going to take a goop of this and a goop of that and a goop of that, and we're going to add it together and get a brand new color. We've got lots of choices. We got 255 times 255 times 255 choices. How many is that? So there's our red, green, blue, and the new color. It's like a white. It's almost a white. Number of choices. 255. Technically 256, I suppose, is being off. So let's do 256. 256, I got a calculator here. I'm working the numbers out. How many total possible colors can we get? Times 256. We can get that many numbers. Is it 16,777,216 different colors? Now that color, mixing them all together, is not too interesting. But let's go ahead and show you one more thing. I said there's a little trick to this. I gotta get on the internet. And let me jump over here. Let me look up. Let me show you what I'm looking up. Let's kind of do this at the same time. Swing over a browser. Go back to my camera view so I can see what I'm doing. Let's do RGB LED color chart or wheel. Let's do a wheel. And go to image and see what we come up with here. Alright, that's pretty good. That's big. Oops, you can't see. It's all blocked by the camera views. Let's swing this over. Okay. So these illustrations, tables, whatever, there's lots of variety, but basically it's telling us what numbers to use to get various colors. I think we did the yellow last time, 255, 255, 0. That's how we got our yellow. So let's see if we can get this, what does that say, rose color, 255, 0, 125, or 128. I guess 128 is more in the middle than 125. So red, green, and blue, and that's the order we have. So all we have to do is we'll swing this over here. See if we can get that rose colored. So we need to have this be 255, and we want this to be 0, and this to be 128. I don't think whether it's 128 or 125 is going to matter much, but let's go ahead and do 128. Upload that and see how close. Bring this back over. See how close we can get to that color right there. I kind of like magenta better though. I need to pay attention. We're still loading. See, I like this idea now, doing the red, green, blue first. Red, green, blue, new color. Ooh, pretty good. Pretty good. That looks pretty nice. I like that. Alright, now if I'm doing further experiments, maybe I would want to, just for giggles, maybe I want to screen through these a little faster. Show me that, show me that, show me these three colors really fast, and then spend a little bit longer, like 2 seconds, on the new color. That might be a better showcase of our new colors. But while we've are altering our code, let's go ahead and try to get a spring green. I actually like magenta. Let's go ahead and do that one. Although I like to do one without all the zeros. Let's do it anyway. 255, 0, 255. Let's switch that to this. We're kind of picking on 255 and 0 a lot. But we'll select one more that's in between. Alright, so who knew? We could do all this kind of art stuff in here. This is just one RGB LED. We could combine multiple LEDs, RGB LEDs, and we could, if we could combine them in like a little grid, little matrix, like a 4x4, then we could have them print out certain colors. You can start making images. It's done. It's okay. So, ooh. There's our three colors, and then there's waiting for us on the last one. I don't know how close that is to this. Now the colors are going to vary slightly. No, we don't have any resistors in here, so that's not going to be a problem. I don't know if it's that. I don't know if this magenta. Whoop, you can't see what I'm pointing at. Over here. Right here, I'm looking at this magenta. 255, 0, 255. I don't know if that matches what we see there. It's pretty close. Let's do one last one. Let's look at a different table. And one that has more values. There's some you can look them up. I think I saw that. You get out this image thing. You can actually type in right here. Just give it a try. Yeah, so here's our RGB values. That's what we're looking for. If I want, oh, this is a little weird because it's only showing me red and black. Oh, I get, maybe that's the color right there. No, okay. This is a little different. This looks like something that's more useful. Let's do one more color here. How about just try this color here? I wanted one with that's not using 255 for everything. But let's, okay, red 51, the others are 255. Let's just go ahead and try that for our last. You gotta be kidding me. I moved that out of the way and I immediately forgot which one I wanted to go red. The red is the 255. No, red is the 51. I'm thinking that, why would I change that color to get the other blue color, but that's what it says to do. Let's give it a try here. And we were after a bluish, a teal color. So let's see how close we get. Nope, that's the old stuff. We're still loading. Our bar's going across there. And we're done. So that's not too bad. They all seem to be a little bit. The LED is probably a little dimmer. We probably get a more sharper color, at least from my perspective. I can tell it's trying to be that color. From the camera view, it looks horrible. You know what? I'm going to try something really quick if I can find it. Just 1/2 second. Let me grab something. Okay, I'm back. Got this. I remembered I had this ping pong ball, which I drilled a hole in to fit over this. I don't remember what I was working on, but Just for giggles, I wonder if that gives me a better color indicator. Camera-wise, it's worse. Actually, I think that's not too shabby. That's pretty cool. Okay, so you can imagine that if we had several of these, I don't have another one in my hand. Let's pretend like this is one. If I had a big row of them going across here, maybe 10, and then we start a new row and have 10 in that row, start a new row and have 10 in that row, we can make a little grid, and then we could control each of the colors. We could have like all of them be white, and then we could spell things on here and get an image to form. The bigger, the larger rows we could have of these, we could begin to develop a better image. Now we're not going to do that because that would be crazy with the wiring, but there are devices that do that, and you probably use them every single day. The screens you look at, your television, you're going to be operating them using a form of this RGB LED. Okay, that's long enough for today. I would encourage you to toy around this a little more, see what other kind of colors you can come up with. If you wanted to borrow this, go ahead and ask me. I'll just stick it in my drawer over here. And then if you ask me, I'll let you use that. Otherwise, that was a pretty good lesson. I thought it was a lot of fun. Pretty easy programming and wiring. It's fun to mess around with the different colors there. So let's go ahead and end this before it gets too long. And gotta give the dyno one more squeeze. And we'll see you in the next lesson.